The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for attending our webinar on James Madison University's Six Sigma certificate programs. My name's Jennifer John, and I'm the program manager for the Six Sigma certificate programs. These are just one of the many excellent certificate programs that we have at JMU's Outreach and Engagement Department, and those include test preparation, paralegal, and our recent Six Sigma Green and Black Belt certificates. James Madison serves the state from its campus in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley. We're committed to serving all of the citizens of the Virginia areas through our academic excellence and outreach. Members of the extended JMU community are changing the world in nearly every sector of our global society. With over 4,600 graduates each year, we're committed to offering the highest level of educational training that you'd expect from James Madison. JMU's Six Sigma Green and Black Belt certificates are offered through the Continuing Education Department. These programs were designed to combine the convenience of online learning with the practical hands-on benefits of online instructor-led training. We consider this to be the best of both educational worlds. So that background information being shared, let's go ahead and get started with our webinar. Looks like I've got, over 25 attendees on tonight, and I'm very glad that you've joined us. Before I get started, though, I do want to make sure that my audio is coming through loud and clear. You'll notice there's a small hand icon right next to your name. Can you go ahead and click on that hand icon, which will indicate to me that you can hear me? So I will just give it a couple of seconds and let people click on that hand icon. Okay, fantastic. I do see hands going up everywhere. That is just terrific. I did want to give everyone an overview of what to expect during the next, I'd say probably about 40 or 45 minutes. I'm going to be discussing what I'd consider to be the top 3 benefits of our program. And then for those of you that may not have a background in Six Sigma, I'm going to go into some detail about the history of Six Sigma and the statistical methodology practices that are utilized in Six Sigma. I do have some extensive information about both our lean green and black belt programs and the format of those, and then several slides about the excellent instructor who teaches with us. I'll close out the session with information on some payment options that are available to you, and then also how you can enroll in the program, and then answer any questions that you might have. Now, just to get comfortable with the question area, you'll notice on your GoToMeeting panel, there's a section where you can type in, very similar to I Am Chatting, type in a question. I'll try to pause a couple of times during the webinar to answer questions, but just so you get comfortable with that, would you mind typing in how you heard about our program? There's a lot of different means out there that you may have heard about our program, such as an online Google search. Perhaps you're a member of our alumni and received a recent email notification, or some other way. So go ahead and type into that question box how you heard about the program. And let's see. Yep, we have a couple coming in, alumni, and you did get the email. Fantastic. Another individual responded through an online search. Okay, great. Well, I appreciate that you typed in those responses. Again, if you have questions as I'm going through my presentation, feel free to go ahead and type them into the question section. All right, as I mentioned, I was going to talk about what I think are some of the top 3 reasons why the James Madison program is fantastic. First of all, it's effective. JMU's Six Sigma program utilizes a blended learning approach for both our green and black belt programs, and we combine the best of online classroom and online training to help you learn more effectively. Next, our program is flexible. It utilizes that blended learning approach for both of our certificate programs, but it also is offered during the evening sessions. And we found in the past a lot of our students were having a hard time with daytime sessions, so we've scheduled the evening classroom sessions so that you can maintain your busy professional work schedule during the daytime. And then last, it's personalized. A portion of the Six Sigma Black Belt classes will be spent developing a full-scale independent project based on your organization's specific challenges. Now, if you don't work for a company currently that has a project that you can utilize, don't be concerned about that. We have case scenarios built right into the curriculum that you can use for your independent project. So again, very personalized as well. Next, I wanted to give you a good overview of what Six Sigma is. First of all, it's a measurement system, which is or a symbol for variation, which is what you see in the middle, the 6 with the measurement next to it. But it's also a management methodology for achieving world-class quality. I would say that Six Sigma originated back in the mid-'80s at Motorola to dramatically improve work processes by eliminating defects. That really is at the core of Six Sigma, is the elimination of defects in any kind of process that an organization has. However, the real background or history of quality improvement and process control, that began as early as the 1920s. Much of the preliminary work was done at Western Electric, the manufacturing arm of AT&T that produced telephone hardware. I'd say from about 1918 until the 1950s, three important figures emerged: Walter Shewart, Dr. Edwards Deming, and Dr. Joseph Duran, each of which made sizable contributions to the role of quality in business. Now, after a Japanese company purchased one of Motorola's failing TV manufacturing facilities, they made significant changes to management and operations processes. The factory was soon producing TV sets with dramatically fewer defects excuse me, than Motorola had ever experienced. So in response, Motorola's then CEO, Bob Galvin, he challenged his company to achieve a tenfold improvement in performance over a 5-year period. This quantum leap in quality improvement required a radically different approach. And then in implementing statistical process control theory, they began measuring equality in terms of an unheard of defects per million opportunities, or DPMO. Motorola equated Six Sigma with only 3.4 DPMO, or achieving a 99.9997% reliability. Next, as far as management methodology, I love this particular screenshot. It's a quote from Jack Welch, who was the retired chairman and CEO of General Electric. At its heart, Six Sigma is about understanding what your customers want and then developing a game plan to deliver it. So Six Sigma is about making sound decisions based on data, not intuition or hunches. Six Sigma is just a smarter way to manage, putting the customer first and using facts and data to drive better business solutions. Companies that can consistently apply these methods and tools are much better prepared to change or to use change as a core competency of their operations. Six Sigma efforts target a variety of critical business objectives, such as improving customer satisfaction, accelerating process times and time to market, reducing defects, and then controlling variation and improving your predictability, all of it tying into reducing costs. Improvements in these areas usually represent dramatic financial benefits to businesses, as well as opportunities to retain your important customers, capture new markets, and then build a reputation for top-performing products and services. Management training is a critical element of a successful Six Sigma deployment. Learning how to successfully integrate the Six Sigma approach into an organization's systems allows its top leaders and functional managers to take ownership of the deployment and then successfully align it with the organization's objectives. Our Green and Black Belt programs prepare managers to create manufacturing, service, and administrative processes that produce a high rate of sustained improvement in both defect reduction and then also cycle time. Now, as I already mentioned, it is a measurement system, and the chart that you see right now is when a company takes their operations from the 2 Six Sigma level all the way up to the Six Sigma level. At the very top of the chart, at the 2 Sigma level, that would be 308,539 defects per million opportunities. But once a company achieves the Six Sigma level, that would equate to only 3.4 defects per million opportunities. Next, I wanted to share a few of the actual companies that everyone's familiar with that's operating at that Six Sigma level. First of all, AT&T, the reliability of getting a Dow tone every time you pick it up. Next, everyone's familiar with FedEx. Your package will be delivered by 10 a.m. and that's guaranteed. And of course, who doesn't know about McDonald's? Whether in California or Virginia, it's still going to be a Big Mac. And then the same for Coca-Cola. It tastes the same every time, everywhere. Each of these organizations have taken their processes up to the Six Sigma level, and their customers know exactly what to expect and get it each time they order their product. And now I'd like to talk about what is really at the core of how Six Sigma works. It is that methodology that uses data and statistical tools to systematically improve processes for ongoing sustainability. The process that you see in front of you is called DMAIC, and it's the heart of Six Sigma. It stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and then control. Let me go ahead and start off with our define phase. The most basic question that should be answered here is, what are we trying to improve and by how much? Critical customer requirements are defined, a project charter is developed, and then a schedule of milestones following the DMAIC process is developed. This stage is the most critical because projects that aren't thoroughly defined often result in wasted time and capital. I'm sure a lot of my attendees can think back during a time when they were involved in a project at their company, and when it's not clearly defined, that's when you run into issues. So the define phase, not only from a project management standpoint, but also from an effective Six Sigma implementation, is the most critical. Next, we move into our measure phase. Here, the company is going to gather all of the historical data that they have available and then measure their historical data against the current performance of whatever the process is. The results of data measurement typically include what we call a histogram, a control chart, and process capability. Of course, all of the terms that I'm talking about during the webinar tonight are very clearly covered during the Six Sigma Green Belt class. After the measurement phase has been performed, we then move into the analysis phase. Here, what we're looking for is to identify the key root causes and process detriments. In other words, we want to determine which factors are significant. There's several tools that are used, including a Pareto analysis, cause and effect diagrams, and failure mode and effect analysis. The more more advanced areas that we include in our black belt, descriptive statistics and regression analysis are also common statistical tools that are used to analyze data. Now, most of these analytics are performed using either calculators or basic formulas in Excel spreadsheets. As a matter of fact, in our Greenbelt program, our students are using calculators, and then when we move into the Black Belt programs, students are using Excel software or other types of software for their computations. All right, next we move into our improve phase. The primary purpose of this stage is to reduce variability or eliminate the cause. During this stage, the team generally brainstorms, lists, and evaluates many improvement ideas. Techniques at this stage include criteria like effectiveness of solution, ROI, or return on investment, and then time to implement. Last, we move into the control phase. Once all of our new processes are in place, the entire goal shifts to monitoring those processes to make sure high quality levels are maintained. Locking in the gains and adjusting new processes is accomplished through statistical process control, continuous improvement, and control plans. Now, at the core of the entire DMAIC process is the focus on achieving data-driven, customer-focused improvements, which of course result in significant cost savings for the entire organization. All right. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit tonight with my audience about why I think you should earn your Six Sigma certificate from James Madison University. First of all, it's important for me to mention that Six Sigma certification, it's not regulated by any type of government or national certifying body, such as the Project Management Institute, which is the certifying body for the PMP certification. That makes a reputation of the program you are certified by much more important. As we all know, the name and reputation of JMU is well known throughout the country. We've been recognized as one of the top universities around the country. According to the Kiplinger's February 2012 report, JMU was ranked number 28 of best values in schools that deliver a stellar education at an affordable price. Having a certificate from JMU will be a huge resume and career booster for you. Also, I'd like to talk a little bit about why our JMU education is different. First of all, our program is uniquely offered in a 100% online format with self-paced modules that are coupled with live instructor-led training. We felt that it was critical to include live training with your instructor so students can meet online for that important interaction with your classmates as well as the instructor. There aren't other programs out there that offer the live instructor-led training, but as I mentioned, we thought it was a critical component to ensure that our students had engaging online instruction. Also, the format is very convenient. As I mentioned previously, those instructor-led sessions are scheduled during the evening hours so that our students can maintain their busy personal and professional daytime responsibilities. And then our instructor is a practicing Six Sigma black belt, not an individual who's a full-time instructor, but we wanted to bring in somebody that was actually working in the Six Sigma field and can bring their day-to-day Six Sigma consulting practice experience right into the classroom session to ensure that our students were hearing from a practitioner who was out there really living and breathing Six Sigma implementations. And last, it's important to us that you succeed in your learning experience here at JMU. That's why we provide continued support throughout your Six Sigma training. Students have access to technical and instructional assistance, throughout the program, as well as phone and email support, not only from our dedicated program staff, but also from the instructor. We're available to answer questions that you have regarding website access and then provide instructional support for assignments or materials. In addition, a thorough orientation will be provided prior to the first day of class to make sure that all of our students are going to be successful. Next, I did want to share an overview from an expectation on your part as far as if you invest in Six Sigma training, what can you expect? What you see in front of you is a salary chart from Six Sigma Global Salary Surveys, and they have been putting this survey out to members since 2004. These are national salaries for individuals that have Six Sigma Black Belt certification. So back in 2004, you'll notice the average salary for a black belt was $70,103. Over the years up through 2012, that's increased all the way up to $83,107. And you'll see a couple of small dips. We plateaued after 2007 and spiked up to 80,000 in 2008, and then just a small dip in 2011. But you see a progressive increase in salaries for black belt. So this type of certification on your part would certainly be a wise investment from an expected salary standpoint. All right, now I do want to give you an overview of our online training, and then I will follow up with some information about the classroom training. We do have self-paced modules that are incorporated into the program. They do follow very closely with the instructor-led training, but it does prepare each of our students for that instructor-led training. And it's going to give those students that may not have a background in Six Sigma methodology or have been exposed to, say, mathematical or statistical computations for a while, pretty much give them the ability to be on the same learning field when they come into the classroom. It's a very intuitive 24/7 online portal. What you see right now is the James Madison University e-learning portal. We will send you a link to register as a new user, and then once you've set up your username and password, you'll simply type that in each time you access the online portal. When you go into the portal itself, there is a very, very easy to follow module layout that starts with student instructions and then information about each one of the modules. What you see in front of you is for the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt program. You'll notice that it begins with the Six Sigma introduction, and then we go into the introduction to Lean principles, and then after the overview, you'll notice the subcurriculum follows the identical DMAIC model. So we begin with define, we go into measure. If you could see further into the modules, you would notice that it does follow the entire DMAIC process. Now, each one of the modules, when you open them up, it's going to be very similar to what you see right now. This happens to be the statistics module. All of the text that you see on the right-hand side is the actual audio that you're going to hear. At the bottom of the screen, you have the ability to progress. You can go forward or backwards. You can actually replay any of the content. And then on this particular screenshot that I'm sharing, it's a standard for what you would have in any module. There's going to be clearly defined learning objectives, so you'll know what to expect from the module, but also you'll notice that right below the objectives, it tells you how much time to anticipate for any of the given modules. For the statistics example, it is approximately 35 minutes, and of the total of all the modules, I would say the shortest one is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes, and the longest one is going to be a little bit over an hour. But in the instance that you actually have to step away from your computer or shut down the system, when you come back into it, it's going to open up to the exact same spot where you are at. Now, as far as our instructor-led training, students are going to be meeting in a web conference system. And actually, that system is the identical one that you're in tonight. It is called GoToMeeting. Some of you may be familiar with it. The biggest difference, though, is right now you don't have any audio capability, so you're not able to talk directly with your instructor or the classmates. When you're in the actual live training sessions with the instructor, you can use either a headset to talk directly, or there'll be a conference number that you can call into. So a very, very intuitive system. What I'm doing tonight for the purposes of this presentation is simply sharing a PowerPoint presentation with you. The instructor is also able to go to anything that they have on their desktop. They're able to share a website if it's going to help from a learning standpoint. So a lot of interactivity is available in the web conferencing platform. So along with the web conferencing platform, again, our class sessions are conveniently scheduled in the evening. Now, here are the upcoming dates for our programs. We have a Greenbelt program that is beginning April 15th, running through May 10th. Another Greenbelt program this year is going to run from August 5th through the 30th. And then we have our Black Belt program, which runs from September 9th through November 1st. The Greenbelt programs are a total of 4 weeks in length, whereas the Black Belt program is a total of actually 2 months in length. And we do have the availability for the April 15th program for those that are interested in registering for that class. Some of you may want to wait until the August Greenbelt program, specifically if you want to go directly into our September 9th Black Belt. But even for those of you that may be interested in registering for the April 15th program, that still would give you the opportunity to complete both your Green and Black Belt programs by the end of the year. All right, I do have a good overview of, and this is the example for April 15th through May 10th Greenbelt program that's coming up. As I mentioned, it's a 4-week program. We do send out a very thorough orientation. We email that out a week before the class starts. That way, all of our students have an opportunity to get back in touch with us with any questions that they may have, perhaps a technical question that they have, or information about the online content. So everybody is very comfortable and ready when the class starts. For the very first week, which runs from April 15th through the 21st, our students will be completing the first series of online modules. Then during week 2, it's going to be the first of 2 weeks of online class sessions with the instructor. So those are going to be running April 22nd through the 26th. It is a full week, Monday through Friday, of classes that meet from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Then week 3, students will be wrapping up their self-paced modules from April 29th through May 5th. And then week 4 is going to be the second week of classroom instruction. That will be May 6th through May 10th, again Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The final examination itself is going to be open and available for students to take. It is an online exam, but that's open a full week after the last class date. So that will be open May 11th and will be open for 1 full week. The final exam itself for the Greenbelt program, we give our students 3 hours to complete the exam. What I've found in the past, most of the students are able to successfully complete that exam within 2 hours, but we give each student a full 3-hour time period to complete the exam. Okay, I'm going to take a break just for a second to see if there are any questions that we may have. And at this point, nope, it looks like I've answered all of the questions. So let me go into my next overview, and that is going to be of the Black Belt program. As I mentioned, it is twice the length of the Greenbelt program, obviously because of the amount of content in it. So a full 8-week time period for the Black Belt program. It begins on September 9th and then runs through November 1st. Again, very similar format. The only difference is that everything is scheduled in 2-week blocks of time rather than 1-week blocks of time. So the orientation email is sent out during the week of September 1st to get everybody acclimated and ready for the classes that will be starting. Now weeks 1 and 2, that would be September 9th and the 16th, our students are going to be working on their self-paced online modules. And then weeks 3 and 4, students will have class, and here's a difference between the Greenbelt program. They do go to class 2 weeks in a row, but they're only attending class on Monday through Thursday rather than Monday through Friday, and those class sessions meet from 6:30 to 9 p.m. rather than 6:30 to 8 p.m. And so again, Monday through Thursday during the weeks of September 23rd and September 30th, and then students have an additional 2 weeks to complete the remaining set of self-paced modules. And then the last 2 weeks of the program, weeks 7 and 8, our students will have their last 2 sets of or 2 weeks of online class meetings with the instructor. That's going to be October 21 and October 28th. Again, Monday through Thursday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. There is a final exam, very similar to the Greenbelt exam, and our students do have a full week to complete that online certification exam. Now, I do want to mention to everybody tonight, in the unlikely event that you don't pass the final exam the first time through, we do give you another opportunity to retake a completely different exam. Of course, our goal is to ensure that our graduates are going to be prepared, and we give you time to meet with your instructor to review any of the content or topics which you may have struggled with, and then, of course, give you that opportunity to retake that final exam and successfully graduate from our program. And I did want to talk a little bit about our phenomenal instructor. His name is Dr. Abai Trivedi. His students affectionately call him Dr. T. He has an innate ability to add humor and just some really high-level content into the Six Sigma curriculum. He is not only certified to teach in project management, but also Six Sigma Black Belt certified. He's got over 20 years of experience assessing project management needs for complex businesses, evaluating alternatives, and then implementing technology solutions in multiple industries. Most recently, Dr. Trivedi has been consulting out of Washington, D.C. He has quite a few contracts with the federal government and spends a lot of time in the D.C. area. But you would be in excellent hands with Dr. Trivedi if you make the decision to enroll in either our green or black belt programs. Next are a couple of quotes from some of Dr. Trivedi's previous students. And we do have evaluations that we hand out to all of our students after the class session is over to ensure that your expectations are met and that the instructor is delivering the quality education that you would expect from James Madison University. But Dr. Trivedi's evaluations have always been very, very good, and usually we have at least a 90 to 100% recommendation rate from his students. So a fantastic instructor, along with a really good sense of humor if you decide to enroll in our program. All right, now as far as our graduation requirements, we do want everyone to complete all of the online modules and then also attend all of the online class sessions. While we strongly encourage you to attend those online class sessions, quite frankly, we understand that things are going to come up in your busy professional or personal work. You may end up with a project at work that keeps you there late, and you may miss a class session. You may may have a child at home or yourself that runs into a health issue, and because of some type of sickness, you may not be able to attend a class, we always have the instructor schedule at least one makeup class during the program for those individuals that may, for whatever reason, have to miss a class session. We do ask, though, that you reach out to the instructor and let them know about a class that you're going to miss. That way the students can collectively decide on a good makeup time. But recommendation that you attend all online class sessions with the knowledge that, of course, with your busy schedules, you may have to miss one or two of the sessions. And then you do need to score a 70% or higher on the certification exam, and that would be in both our green and black belt programs. And then in the black belt, students are also going to be completing a Six Sigma black belt project. That can either be a project from your company, or you can use the case studies that we have incorporated into the curriculum. Now, as far as the program fees, everything is included in the tuition, so there aren't any type of hidden fees, application fee, anything along those lines. Our Greenbelt tuition is only $2,995, and then our Black Belt tuition is $4,995. Now, if you decide to register for both of the belts, you are going to receive a 10% discount on the tuition, which is fairly substantial. That, of course, includes all of your course materials. In addition, we give you access to the online content and, of course, the online portal for 1 full year. We've found in the past that students that have graduated, they may become involved in a green belt project or a black belt project at their company a couple of months after they graduate and do need a refresher on a particular topic. So we give you a full year access. I haven't had anyone reach back out to me after a year, but of course, if that does come up and you would like a refresher after the year's over, I'm certain that we could accommodate that as well. But 1 full year access to the online portal, and then also the certification exam isn't included. I believe there are a few other universities out there that may be charging for the certification examination, but ours is included in the tuition, and then also a beautiful certificate of completion from James Madison University. It's also important to note, once you do receive that certification, you're going to hold that for life. As I mentioned previously during the webinar, there isn't any type of government or national certifying body over Six Sigma credentials, so there also are not any type of continuing education units that you need to maintain your certification. So again, once you do receive your certification from JMU, you'll have that on your resume and your portfolio for the rest of your life. Now, as far as payment, we have a couple of different options for you, but I do need to mention that the majority of financial aid programs, such as FAFSA, are only available to students who are attending credit courses, so undergraduate level or graduate level classes. Because Six Sigma, the program is offered as a non-credit program, these types of traditional forms of student loans, they're not available. We do, of course, accept payment in full with a credit card, any type of credit card, including Discover, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. You can also choose to be invoiced by when you register, so if you prefer to pay by a personal or perhaps a company check. In addition, we have a relationship with Sallie Mae for what they call their Smart Option student loan, and there is information directly on our website, which is www.jmu6sigma.org. And there is information about Sallie Mae and where to go to apply for that Sallie Mae loan. It would be very similar to a private base loan from your own credit union or banking institution, I would say it's probably a 15-minute online application, and they're going to be taking a look at two basic things. Number one, your income to debt ratio, and number two, your credit score. We have found in the past that a FICO or credit score in the 630 range or below is going to require a co-borrower. Otherwise, you would be approved for that Sallie Mae loan. So again, a fairly streamlined process, about 15 minutes, and you'll be notified if Sallie Mae has accepted your loan or not. So as far as the other methods of payment, once you visit our website, go ahead and just click on the Enroll Now button, which is going to take you into our registration system. There you can create, if you've never taken a class from James Madison, you can go ahead and create your new account. You can then register for the class, and then you do have the option to be invoiced if you'd like for something along the lines of a payment by check, or if you have a company that is also going to be working as far as tuition reimbursement, or a company check for payment. Also, you can request a registration form from us, and you can either fax that in or mail it to the actual address that's listed on the registration form. Now, Michelle Hamer is our program advisor, and unfortunately, tonight Michelle was hit with that nasty flu that seems to be going around, so she was not able to join us. And I would like to let everybody know that Michelle can be reached at the number that you see on the screen, which is 540-908-4578. Or email Michelle directly at hamermx@jmu.edu. Now, Michelle will be sending everyone a link to a YouTube video of this presentation. I'm actually recording it right now, so you should expect to receive that via email. I would say either by Wednesday or no later than Thursday morning, based on how quickly she recovers from the flu. And then also feel free to reach out to Michelle if you have any questions about enrolling, program requirements, anything along those lines at all. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and see if we have any questions from individuals in the audience. I'll give everyone just a couple of minutes to go ahead and type your questions in to the question box, and I'll be able to answer those in looks like the last couple of minutes that we have for the session tonight. All right, we've got a question in from John, and John wanted to know if he has to take the Green Belt program before the Black Belt program. He does have his MBA and wanted to see if he could go directly into the Black Belt. John, that's a terrific question. We do require that individuals have Green Belt certification. It doesn't necessarily have to be from James Madison University, but we do require that you do have Green Belt training from a different university in order to go directly into our Black Belt. So unfortunately, an MBA would not qualify you to go directly into the Black Belt program. All right, and let's see, Angela asks, our company does sponsor individuals from a tuition reimbursement standpoint. How does that process work? Well, Angela, here's what I would recommend. I'm going to go ahead and make a note of that and let Michelle Hamer know that you do have tuition reimbursement at your company, and she should plan, she'll be following back up with you probably Thursday morning after she gets over her flu bug, and help as far as the best way to get that tuition reimbursement processed. All right, and then let's see, James asks, I am graduating, let's see, James, I'm graduating in December of this year. Will you have dates available for registration for next year? James, that's a terrific question. I can share with you that we will have dates available for the 2014, and those are going to be available on our website by probably the middle of fall. We'll have at least 3 green belt programs scheduled next year, and of course at least 1 black belt program. But we appreciate your being on the webinar with us this evening, and I wish you all the best with wrapping up your undergraduate degree requirements. Okay, fantastic. Well, it looks like I've answered everybody's questions tonight. My whole goal with this webinar was to give you the information that you needed to make an informed decision about the best program for you. Hopefully you've decided that James Madison University would be a fantastic fit for your Six Sigma training needs. As I mentioned, Michelle Hamer will be following up with everybody and sending you a YouTube link to this presentation. And I'd like to thank everybody for your time this evening, and hopefully we're going to be seeing you in class in the very near future. So have a great rest of your evening, everyone.